Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We're located in Fredrick, Colorado. Mi nombre es Denise, también hablo español para los que ocupen ayuda con eso del español. Esta traila se las voy a hacer la semana que viene, un video completamente en español para que también estén atentos para ese video. Now, as I mentioned, my name is Denise, and right behind me here, we have a 2026 Cimarron Norstar 2-horse bumper pull. And we got a full rear ramp on this guy, so it's a little different, but you know, it's a little add-on that a lot of you guys like, and we like to add it for y'all. So first and foremost, before we even get started, we'll bring up our drawing super fast so we can take a look at that. The length of our trailer is just shy of 16 feet, so you're looking at about 15.6 on the floor. Your width is 6'10", and then your height is 7'1". So you got standard height, standard width on this trailer, and it is a little shorter, but it's not, you know, too crazy of a length either. So we'll just go ahead and get started with this guy. We'll start up here in our front tack room. So standard features as always. We'll look at our door first. So we have a 42-inch door. So this guy's a little bit bigger than, you know, a normal regular standard tack door, only because we do have our swing out saddle rack here, so that guy can go in and out without having to worry about, you know, I don't have enough space to clear it, to clear my saddles to come out, all that kind of stuff on there, as well as have enough clearance to be able to walk in and out of your tack room if you decide to have your saddle rack out. Now, again, on our door, on the very top, we're looking at just that standard bus window that goes from the front tack here. So if you guys ever need to, you know, open it up, let some airflow into the tack room, because it does get pretty, you know, stinky sometimes in there with all the sweat and all those saddles, the pads, all that kind of good stuff. So it's kind of nice to have that feature. And then down here, we're also looking at our brush tray, really storage for anything you really want to have. These guys have holes underneath every single one of those compartments, so it's easy to drain them out. So that way you guys don't have to struggle with, well, if something spills, I'm gonna have to get a rag and clean it. This will just automatically drain it for you guys as far as that goes. Now, again, touched a little bit on the swing out saddle rack. So this guy does swing in and out. It'll be stationary out if you guys want to have it this way, or you can swing it all the way in and then have it stationary in the inside. It's really up to you and your preference. These guys are fully adjustable and, you know, fully removable. If you guys want to add another blanket rod, you definitely can. If you want to add another saddle pad on here, you definitely can. It's really up to you if you want to remove them. Totally up to you again. And then stationary in or out, it swings, it works off of a gas shock, so you know you have enough clearance on this one whenever you go to get on to your step to step into your tack room itself, and then you just pull this guy in. Sometimes you do gotta give it a little bit of a force on it, you know, because they're kind of, once they're new, they need that force, but you just swing that guy right out and it'll go with it. It'll, again, stay stationary if you guys want it that way. Now, working into our front tack room here, we'll touch on the floor really fast. So this guy is working off of rubber mats on the bottom. So just, you know, your standard rubber mats on here. You guys obviously can power wash this out. You don't have all that carpet in here. This trailer will have that rubber mat that you can take out if you guys want to, you know, power wash, clean it once a year. Really up to you guys and your preference. It depends how much you use your trailer as far as that goes. Now, coming in here, we'll touch on our spare tire really fast. So your spare tire on these bumper pulls will always be inside of your tack room. For the most part, this guy is a full-size spare tire. So it'll be the same as everything, you know, all the other four that are on the trailer as we speak. Now, touching up on the roof over here, we do have a clothes rod up here. So if you guys, you know, are going to be showing out of this trailer, if you're using it for trail rides and you need to hang up your, you know, your jackets, your shirts, all that kind of stuff, you guys do have access to be able to do that in this trailer itself. Now, we'll touch on the wall that connects the tack to the stall areas. So here we're seeing our bridle hooks. They're located on this top bar over here. So we see our bridle hooks. We also see the carpet that falls right behind it. So the carpet is essentially here to minimize the sound that goes into the stall area, so you guys don't have to, you know, worry about all that metal clinging onto, you know, the wall, because it does, I mean, if metal is clinging onto it, it will get pretty noisy. So, and sometimes horses freak out when it comes to that. So it's really nice to have that carpet that just kind of sits there, you know, and protects it. As far as, you know, also scratches on these guys, we know those bridles, they'll tear it up for sure. And then right behind in this like little awkward corner here, we do have our 25-gallon water tank. So this guy will fill from the top, and then it'll, you know, come out the bottom. If you guys want to put a bucket here and open the spigot to, you know, let it come out, you guys also get a 10 feet hose with it, so you can connect it to that guy down there, and then, you know, bring the hose out, use it whichever way you need to, whether that's, you know, hosing off your horse, filling up your buckets out there, all that kind of good stuff. It's kind of nice to have that, you know, hose with it. It'll come with your trailer as well. Now in your tack room over here in the front, we do have an LED light that's located right on top of our door. So you have that LED type awning light, so you get a lot of visibility in here if you guys happen to be working out of your trailer during nighttime. Your switch to be able to work that guy is located right on top of your water tank. So it's just one switch, flick it on, you flick it off, and, you know, good done deal as far as that goes for your switch inside the lights of your tack room. Now we're gonna look at our hip side of our trailer here. Again, we're looking at that white sheeting standard on these ones, just that your regular white sheeting with that silver on the bottom, you know, a little bit more protection on the trailer as far as that goes, for rocks, that kind of stuff. On the top here for your hip side, we do have your 2 bus windows, you know, located on the hips of each one of the stalls in there. And then we also have your 16-inch type awning light, same light as the one that we saw inside of our tack room. So it's LED. You get a lot more visibility if you're working off of the hip end of your trailer. If you happen, again, to be working out super late, you do have that light located up there, so you're able to see on this end. And I will show you guys where those switches are as soon as we turn around to get to the rear end of our trailer. We'll also touch up here on our axles. So you have 2 3,500-pound rubber torsion axles, and we're working off of electric brakes, and then you do have those 15-inch aluminum black spoke wheels. So these are 15-inch. You have the little upgrade. It's not, you know, fully aluminum. You have like that black spoke, gives it a little bit more color to your trailer, so you're not, you know, just that standard aluminum wheel that goes on there, so you get a little bit more visibility. And then obviously your marker lights, you have one on top of your tack room door, and then you got a couple here on this end of the trailer, as well as right there on your fender for the hip end of this trailer. Now we'll turn our back and we'll go to the full rear of our trailer. As I mentioned, we have a full rear ramp on this one, so we got a little bit of an upgrade as far as that goes. You have your ramp already located, you know, here on the rear. For our stall area and our doors, we're working off of 60/40 doors. So this guy will be your 60, that guy will be your 40, you know, one's bigger than the other one. It's kind of nice also to have your ramp here, so you guys don't have to worry if you wanted an add-on. This one has that ramp for y'all. So we have that ramp, as we can see, and then also here we're seeing our butt strap for that last stall. So essentially, if you guys happen to open your doors, you have your horse sitting here and she likes to back out, you know, this strap will definitely cover as far as their hip goes, so they're not able to fully, you know, put their rear bottom on y'all and just continue to move forward. Now I'll touch up on Cimarron's flooring super quick. So this is their aluminum floor. So on these trailers, it's full aluminum flooring. Cimarron does a really good job when it comes to their floors. They have, you know, a V-truss every 4 inches. So these guys, I mean, your horse is gonna be looking to protect his feet all the time. You know, whenever they're inside of your trailer, That V-truss goes every 4 inches. If they're not standing on 1, they're standing on 2, so their hoofs are always going to be protected as far as that goes, because they won't have to worry, you know, on those wood floorings or that kind of stuff if there's a dent, if there's something on them. Nope, these guys, you know, you'll protect your horse's feet all the time. So that butt strap, if you guys are not utilizing it, you don't want to have it, etc., you do have your hooks. I mean, you can just hook it back onto whichever end and just leave it there stationary. You know, doesn't hurt you, it doesn't hurt the horses as far as that goes, or you can fully remove it if you would like. Totally up to you guys. So again, 2-horse. On this one, we do have a partial divider, so we don't have a stud divider. I know a lot of you look for that in the front stall. This one will have that partial divider, which is, you know, pretty good for a 2-horse as far as the bumper pull goes. And then again, as we always say with our Cimarron trailers, these guys are fully spring loaded. So if y'all, you know, you're coming or you for some reason get stuck in here, whatever the case is, you pull the lever, you let it go, your door will fully spring to your head wall of your trailer over here. You know, again, if you're coming in with your horse and you forget to open your divider, whichever way that goes, you can just pull on the lever and this guy will automatically want to pull force to that end, and then you're able to bring your horse into that first stall over there. Now, as we see on this one, it's fully padded for both ends. So you have a fully padded divider on here. Pad goes all the way from the front to the back on this trailer itself. Now we'll start on this end. We'll touch up real fast the few things on here. So we see our kick mats. We have the kick mats from the bottom half of this trailer, and then that white sheeting from the top half of this trailer. This trailer is fully lined and insulated, so you guys do have that full lined and insulated stall area. Very nice feature to have for sure. And then on top of our bus windows here, so I covered that on the hip end over there from the outside, but you do have your bus windows on here. You would operate them as you would from the outside as well. And then on the top of your windows, you do have that awning type LED light, so the same exact as what we've seen throughout the trailer itself. And then on our roof, again, fully lined and insulated. So you do have a lot more protection on this roof as far as that goes. I mean, you're not going to see any hail dings. You're not going to see any of that kind of stuff. Your roof really holds up to what it should, which is a really nice feature that Cimarron has. Again, safety is a really big thing for Cimarron when it comes to, you know, your horse's safety, your safety, all that stuff included. And you guys can definitely tell by the trailer itself. So again, on the roof, we do have our two-way roof vents. So we'll have 2 of them, one on top of each of the stalls. You know, you pull it out, you pull air in, you pull air out, whichever way you guys want to go about that. Totally up to preference when it comes to y'all. And then in the front, you know, the head space of our trailer for our horses here, we do have 3 D-rings. So if you guys wanted to put a feed bag in the front, you do have those D-rings to have, you know, access to that itself on here. You'll have it for both the front and the second stall. And then we do have 2 tie hooks on the top of this end. And then again, we're looking at our gel bars as far as that goes over there. And I'll show you guys in that front stall as well. That 3rd D-ring is hooked onto the divider over here, but same concept. You have your 3 D-rings and then you have your 2 tie hooks on the top. And then we're looking at the gel bars as far as that goes on this end of the trailer. And then touching on the floor, this guy does have full rubber mats on here. So you're seeing your full rubber mats on the inside stall area of your trailer itself. And then here, as far as your doors go, so I mentioned 60/40. This one here will be your 40 end door. And then your switches for your lights are located on this end of your trailer. So these switches will operate both of the awning lights that are on both head and hip end of your trailer for the exterior. And then for the interior, you will also have that switch in there that will work that light as well. And then for the top load light on this rear end will also be one of these switches on this trailer as far as that goes. So we'll touch up on this end here, this rear. Again, we have our 8-inch type awning lights, same system as the rest of the lights that we've seen around. We have a couple marker lights back here, and then again, those brake lights. So we have, you know, your 4 brake lights. One is hidden behind that door. But on these brake lights, which is very nice, that X that we see, it's that LED, and that guy is your backup light. So if you're working with your trailer super late at night, you need a backup, you can't see the exterior, this will give you a little bit more clearance. I mean, granted, it's not crazy as far as that goes, but it does give you a lot more light for your trailer whenever you're backing up out of here. So I'll go ahead and shut these doors real fast, and then I will show you guys the ramp. So Cimarron does spring-loaded ramps, so they're not heavy at all whatsoever. I mean, one person could one hand, you know, lift these guys up, and the ramp itself will want to push towards your doors over here, and then your latch is located right here. You pull this lever and you just connect it to it. Sometimes it's a little tricky, and it might be tricky for me because I'm a little weak, but there we go. So that's how your ramp would latch. So you latch your ramp, and then once it's latched, you're good to go. Please do not forget to latch your ramp. We do not want your ramp falling or, you know, going crazy on the side of the road, and then you guys finally realize your ramp was the issue. Please latch that guy on there. So now our head side of our trailer here, we have our 2 drop-down windows with our bus window as well, integrated into the drop-down. And then, as we saw inside of the stalls, we do have our jail bars with this trailer in particular. And then the way to work Cimarron's drop-downs, normally what I would recommend is you pull, you know, your drop-down a little bit at an angle down here, and then you just pull the bar. There is, you know, your connection that goes there. It has a little hole in I would say towards the end of that little thing there. So normally people, you know, they put it up, and then you just pull the bottom again on your drop down, and then it'll make that jail bar go back into place. So you have, you know, your jail bar there, and then you just give it a good shove and shut your window. That's how you would work these guys. Again, if you wanted to drive around with your drops all the way down, you definitely can. I mean, these guys are not going to be going anywhere, and as we always show, it has that socket, and then this guy will connect to it, and then once it's connected, your drops are not going to be going anywhere as far as that goes. And again, fairly simple. You just shut that guy like that, give it a good shove, and it's completely closed. Now on this side, again, we're touching up on lights. We do have that same 16-inch type awning LED light, so you do have that for clearance on this end of the trailer as well. And then we are also looking at 2 more tie hooks for this end of the trailer. So if you're not working on that end and you're working on this end, you still have your tie hooks, so you don't have to worry about it as far as that goes. And then we do have a couple marker lights over here as well. So just your standard that we saw on that end will also be the same on this end. Now we'll cover our front end over here for our bumper pull area. So we have, you know, our standard bulldog hitch on here. We have our safety chains. Please, whenever you're moving your trailer, use your safety chains. Always. So you have, you know, both of your safety chains on this guy, and then you have your breakaway on there as well. And it's, you know, a little different. It's working off of like this bungee, which I really like, because the other ones were kind of wonky sometimes. And then just your standard 7 plug that we currently have, you know, connected to our little machine to give us power to our trailer. So you have your standard 7 plug, and then really nice feature is they'll give you, you know, that little holder for your 7 plug. And you guys, whenever you're done, you know, done with your trailer, it's parked, it's kind of nice to have somewhere to put it, so it's not just laying around on the ground. I know sometimes, even myself with my bumper pull, I'll pull it and I'll leave it, and you know, that guy sometimes gets destroyed. So it's kind of a nice little feature to have on these ones as far as that goes. And then again, touching up, so we have, you know, our white sheetings on half top, And then we have like our polished stainless steel that goes onto here for the bottom end, as well as, you know, this middle strip that goes up towards the trailer. And then again, you guys, as I spoke about it in the beginning, this is a 2026 Cimarron Norstar 2-horse bumper pull with a full rear ramp on here. Our stock ID is 5N250450. If you guys have any questions about this trailer or any other trailer that we have in our lot, please feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Denise. This is my email address. This is my cell phone number. And then this is the office number. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me. In any of these three, I'm fully reachable at. Otra vez, como les expliqué en el principio, hablo español para los que ocupen ayuda con poquito de español. Yo les puedo ayudar con eso. Este viene siendo mi correo electrónico, este viene siendo mi número de celular y este es el número de la oficina. Así que si ustedes tienen cualquier otra pregunta, ya sea en esta traila, en otra traila que tenemos aquí, por favor, márquenme, mándenme un correo electrónico, lo que ustedes gusten, cualquiera de las tres formas. Y también, como les expliqué en el principio, les voy a hacer un video en esta misma traila para la semana que viene. Por los que gustan ver este video en español, la semana que viene se los tengo para ustedes. Again, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video, and we'll see you guys again next time.